Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here, I hope you're all well. And today we are playing the Type 75 Sniper, the Type 75 Japanese MBT. Now, very soon the Type 90 will come out, and the Type 75 will no longer be the top tier Japanese tank. However, the Type 75 is still technically in action with the Japanese with the Japanese self-defense forces. Even though it's sort of in a reservist role now, it's a bit of an old tank. It's showing its years, but it's still a very good tank. So, if Japan were to have a war or go into war, things like that, then the Type 75 would be one of the vehicles that would be fighting in it. And you sort of think, well, how would the Type 75 go in a war situation? Well, it would actually go pretty well still. The thing about the Type 75 is it's not designed to go on a head-on assault to an enemy. It's not a tank designed for, you know, fighting in the front lines. It's designed to sneak. It's designed to stay back. It's designed to scout. It's designed to have some ability to take a bit of a knocking. But its main sort of design ethos was to actually be able to get into places and provide cover fire, to be able to support. It was a very small tank as well, a very narrow tank, so it was designed to be able to go onto the railways in Japan, so it could be taken up into the mountainous areas. And that's the whole thing with the Type 75, is you have to play it a little bit more passively. If you play it extremely gung-ho, you sometimes do suffer. Now, luckily I'm in a down tier in this game, which is very rare. But when you're in this situation, even when you're in a down tier in Type 75, you have to be a bit careful still, and you have to play a little bit more cautiously. So we're just sort of scouting out, and as you saw there, I used my hydropneumatic suspension just to get a little bit better depression on this ridgeline here. So I'm working this ridgeline, good observation area of the map. There are a few trees blocking my view. And there is a dead tank there, which looked alive, but it was very much dead. So wasted a shot there. But we're really just keeping an eye out, trying to keep the area sort of safe, and not sort of poking out too much, trying to keep hidden basically. So we're almost playing as a sniper in this situation. Now we're on a very good map to snipe on, and also we have a very good round to snipe with. The APF-DS round for the Type 75 is really quite good. The M735 round has got very good penetration, but also very good velocity. It's a relatively easy shot to aim. One of the problems I find with this tank, though, is because it's got so much zoom for its optics, sometimes I just fail when I'm playing with that. Now here we see the reverse ability of this tank. Now we're reversing up this hill with no problem at all. Relatively steep incline here. But the reverse speed of this tank is fantastic. It's got fantastic reverse speed. So working ridgelines is just so beneficial with this tank, because you can use that suspension to lower your front so you can get better depression on the gun. If you're on a bit of an angle as well, you can also get so you can raise the left or lower the left or raise the right. You know, you can actually position your tank so it's flat on a hill line. So we're just working out here, we're just getting into a position where we can really just spot and keep an eye out for things. Not much has happened so far in the game. It's been a relatively quiet game for us at the moment. We've not really spotted anything. Our team's doing really well, so I'm not really worried about pushing. And I'm just making sure not to get spotted. That's the hardest part. So it's really just keeping an eye out and seeing if I can spot anything through these tree lines at the moment. Now earlier on I did have to reset my controls because for some reason the controls had reset to standard controls, so my pneumatic suspension was no longer working. Now we're going to reverse up this hill line, again just showing that amazing reverse power of this tank. And oh hello, T62 and a Leopard. Now just getting into position here, T62 we fire, we go straight through, take out the driver. Now the Leopard is ahead of him, so we wanted to make sure we didn't shoot the first tank there, because we may have got spotted. Fire the second shot, we go straight through the ammunition and take out that T-62. Okay, that's a relatively high priority tank taken out. Now, where has that Leopard gone? Now, of course, being in realistic battles, I can't see the name tags. So, we're just keeping an eye out here. I'm just changing my suspension a little bit again, just to give me a little bit better speed and a little bit better maneuverability. Now, one thing with this tank is it does have really good maneuverability, but when you are in the lowered suspension mode, just dip the front again just because we're going up on this hill line. When you are in the lowered suspension mode, you do get less... Hello, what was that? Was that a tank? Okay, we're spotting that Leopard now. So there's that Leo. Take a nice shot, we go straight through the side, take out his entire crew. Well, almost his entire crew. Nice shot there. The gun handling on this tank is just fantastic. But yeah, with the pneumatic suspension lowered, you do struggle a little bit because you lose some of your suspension, of course. Because in that situation, your suspension is lowered, there's less traverse for the dampener systems, the suspension has less movement. So we're just going to move back up here. Now we're kind of spawn camping here, from across the map though, of course. But we're just looking at the road where they come from their spawn at the moment. Just keeping an eye on that area, trying to keep the coast clear for the rest of our team. Trying to keep an eye on that chieftain there. Just making sure nobody gets him. Because, as I say, there could easily be a tank up to coming through that area anytime soon. So really just keeping an eye out there and making sure nothing happens. Now, A's being decapped, but looks like we're going to be capturing it again soon. We do have some vehicles in the area. Just really keeping an eye out on that that position there, but you know, as well as trying to keep an eye out to the right hand side. Now we're in a really nice spot here for spotting enemies. There are a few trees that are in the way, of course, but they also do give us cover. So they have their disadvantages and their advantages. Now our team is absolutely covering the area now. We're pretty much we're pretty good at the moment for coverage of the main battlefield. A's being recaptured. Charlie's going to be captured soon. So that will be going down relatively shortly. Again, we're just keeping an eye out, making sure nothing sneaks through. Because again, a fast-moving tank could cause problems here at this stage of the game if it gets through the lines. Now, they do have the option of going to the right of my location and going down towards Charlie and keeping that covered as well. So we're really just making sure nobody can come and get us from behind, outflank us, playing that support sniping role. And again, it's a really useful thing to do in this tank because you just have that fantastic optics on the gun. You've got that brilliant maneuverability and that ability just to climb hills like a mountain goat. So you use those to your advantage with this tank. Now, you're not going to be able to go one-on-one with an Abrams frontally or, top-tier tanks, which you will face in this vehicle. You're not going to be able to go one-on-one with them frontally. But you are going to be able to support people, and that's what you've got to change your mindset to when playing these tanks that aren't quite good enough to be top tier, but they're just too good to be bottom, like a lower tier. So we're just keeping an eye out over the fields now. We're really just keeping things spotted. We're in a bit of a open position here, but we do have some trees to cover us. Some artillery's going down on Charlie at the moment. We're just keeping eyes out, making sure nothing appears. An IS-6 has just spawned in. So as you see here, we've got a prime position just to snipe into their spawn, which it's a shitty thing to do, but it's unfortunately the way the map's designed. Now that IS-6 is there, we take the shot, we go straight into his track. We do no damage because we've just gone through the track. We raise the gun a little bit. and that shot, don't know what happened there. It's almost like the spawn protection just kicked back in again. It's like he lost spawn protection, got spawn protection again, and yeah, it was really weird there that, you know, the shot sort of almost just lost its ability, but this shot straight through the crew compartment, we take that IS-6 out very easily. Another thing with this tank, of course, is IS-6s are very easy to take out frontally, which is very nice, because usually IS-6s are a pain in the arse. So that IS-6 is down. Now there's some anti-aircraft fire going on, so we're just keeping our eyes around. We're just keeping keeping optics on everything. There's something firing over there. Can't see anything though. So there is the I think the there's a Russian heavy over there somewhere. There was also something shooting from over here. I think I saw something a minute ago. Something gained my attention, but we're just keeping our eyes open, and really just keeping sort of the B sort of areas quite covered. You know, anyone going up on those hills we should spot relatively easily. Nothing's really jumping out at us at the moment. We're not getting too many sort of opportunities here. But all over those cliffs and things like that, they, you know, tanks can flank over those positions, so we're just keeping an eye out over there as well. Now, there's an AMX 30 DCA there. We go straight into the ammunition and take out the gun breach. So not a bad shot. We'll take the second shot, and we go straight through the crew compartment, take out the loader. Okay. That's fun. Just gotta love it sometimes with how the shots work in this game. Sometimes they really don't like to work out for you, do they? So that's pretty much their push done for now. The enemy team has pretty much lost all of their opportunities. I got a couple of planes up, there's a couple of heavies up, but there's not really much they can do. You know, they're mainly resorting to their AAA vehicles now, their SPAAs, which is always a sign of a losing team. Plane coming in. That's one of the things you do have to be careful of course, in this situation, is just revenge kills by CAS. Usually, though, if you manage to get the right opponents, you don't have to worry about it too much. But, of course, if you are sort of in a spot sniping, and you have got a very good spot, it can be kind of awkward sometimes, because people will just jump straight back in their planes and just punish you for being in the same location. So C's being captured, Charlie is going down. Nothing around here, the ridgelines are looking very clear. That M56 is going up that hill, which is a dangerous spot. Smoke is covering Charlie though. Everything's looking safe over at Charlie, which is good. And things are looking good for us. It looks like we're going to get a victory. Now there is that T-62 just there, which we can't see because of the tree line. But if he'd come around that corner a little bit, we might have spotted him. Which again would have been a nice little shot taken there. This is a relatively good spot to sit out on. You know, just repositioning again, just getting up this hill. Using these hills and this back area of the map can work out really in your advantage. But of course you need to make sure that you've got a team that will work to actually cap the points. If your team's not able to cap the points, you have to take that position, and unfortunately when you're in the Type 75 that can be very tricky. So again, we're pretty clear, nothing much is happening, and that is the end of the game. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. This is me, Screezler out. Bye bye.